Hello everyone, we are back with another educational video, and today I'm wanting to talk about why dieting fails so many women, because how many of you have actually tried to diet before and it's just not worked out for you? Like, how many times have you actually sat there and been like, okay, I'm so ready for this, start diet on a Monday, you're really strict, you're really with your routine, and out of nowhere, things start to go backwards, your weight starts creeping up, you feel exhausted, bloated, etc. It is all linked and there are reasons behind it. Now, the things that I'm going to talk about today might feel a little bit uncomfortable for some people. Now, if it feels uncomfortable, it's probably because it's hitting a nerve and you probably need to work on it, okay? So take it with a pinch of salt and just own it, the things that I'm about to talk through today. One of the reasons why women tend to fail more at dieting than men is because men and women are very different. Now, it doesn't come down to willpower or anything like that. Women themselves have more struggles with PCOS, endometriosis, perimenopause, menopause, thyroid issues. Like, there is so much more that women have to go through in comparison to men. Now, mainstream dieting was mainly designed around the male physiology, not the female. If we look at most research papers that have been done out there, most are done on males and not females. So if we look at men have naturally a higher muscle mass. They have a higher metabolic rate and their hormones are far more stable. They don't have the hormonal monthly cycle changes that we have to go through. So males only have a 24-hour clock, whereas females, we have a 24-hour clock and a standard 28-day cycle, don't we? So we work things around both of our cycles, not just the one, but two. So this means that women are more affected during each stage of their cycle. Their hormones will fluctuate, the energy will change, the mood will change, stress, insulin sensitivity. Like, honestly, there's so many things to put into one field rather than just the standard simple ones that men do. And what that means is that following a 1600 calorie meal plan and a 6-day training program and fasting for 16 hours isn't necessarily going to work for you. Yes, for males, it's very plain and simple, but for us complex females, it is not the same. Because what happens when you're in your luteal phase? You naturally burn a little bit more calories, so you're going to be hungrier, your energy is going to be a lot lower than in your follicular phase, for example. So why are we trying to match men when our bodies work completely different? The second thing is that chronic dieting damages your metabolic adaptation. So there's obviously science behind it. I'm not just saying this. There is science to support this, and I'm about to explain to you exactly what it is. So when you start dieting aggressively, your leptin hormone drops. And leptin is responsible for you feeling full day to day after every single meal. And when leptin drops, ghrelin increases. And ghrelin is your... Don't get your words out, Dom. Ghrelin is your hormone responsible for your hunger. So naturally, you're going to feel a lot hungrier. Then, the exciting part, the thyroid conversion starts to slow down. So from T4 into T3, which then that will obviously have an effect on your metabolism as well. Your resting metabolic rate will reduce as well naturally, and your NEAT, N-E-A-T, non-exercise movement will drop as well. So your body just adapts over time, right? And not because it's hating you, it's because this is what happens. This is biology, this is physiology, it's absolutely natural. So women are far more sensitive to these metabolic adaptations and these changes because the female body is designed to protect fertility. As females, we are on this planet Earth to make children, and I don't care if people don't agree, this is what our bodies are designed to do. So if you're putting your body in any danger, obviously the first thing on its mind is to protect the fertility, so everything else around it starts to shut down. If your calories are low and your stress is high, your body reads that it is unsafe to reproduce. And as a byproduct of that, what will happen is that your body will start, oh my God, get your words out, Dom, today. Your body will Your body will start down-regulating itself. And that will look like cycles becoming irregular or more heavy or lighter. Your hair will start to thin out, energy crashes, your libido will drop through the floor, and your fat loss will stall. And this is all normal and it's part and parcel of what I'm about to explain. So most women that are dieting are also going to work, are also being mums, are also going to the gym and trying to look after their bodies and working, around the clock to provide for the family. Whilst yes, the males can do that as well, but as I said earlier, a female body is not designed to do that. So what will happen when you're overworking, overtraining, undereating, undersleeping, and majorly stressed, your cortisol will be slowly rising. When you add a deficit on top of that, your body's like, whoa, 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 too much going on right now. And it stops. And as a result of that, your cortisol will be spiking and spiking and spiking, which will then impact your insulin sensitivity, your thyroid conversion. You will feel puffy and swollen. You're puffy and swollen. You know, you will be more likely to hold fat around your midsection. Your face will blow up, look a bit like a moon face. All in all, you're going to be heavier, inflamed, and feeling like utter rubbish. Now, moving on to the thyroid piece of the puzzle. If you are dieting and if you have hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's, it's completely different, because dieting aggressively will hit you a lot harder, because your thyroid itself regulates your gut motility, metabolism, energy production, your temperature. So when calories are too low for too long, your T3 starts to drop, reverse T3 will start to increase, and the conversion won't be happening. And this is where your fat loss will stall, because your whole body's just like this. Imagine everything's happening all at the same time, and it just doesn't know what to do. So the last thing on its mind is to try and lose body fat, okay? And you're going to feel frustrated, and you're going to push your body even more into a further deficit, because you're like, oh, I'm not losing weight, I need to eat less. All that's going to do, honey, is make you feel 100 times worse, and your weight is just going to go whoop. Myself, I've been quite stressed. I'm putting a lot of stress on my body recently, and in the space of 4 weeks, I've gained 3 kilos. You think that's fat? No way. On the calories that I'm on, 1900 calories, there's no way I'm gaining 3 kilos of fat. So you need to detach yourself from these scales as well, because just because they're heavier one day and lighter another doesn't mean you're gaining fat. It's water retention, inflammation. Your body is trying to tell you something. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about is the psychology of restrictions, because many women, especially, men do this too, but many women, label food as good and bad. And psychologically, you are restricting in your head. You increase this tension in your head by saying something's good or bad or off plan or a cheat meal. It straight away registers in your head that you should not eat these foods. So that often leads to women binging and having an unhealthy relationship with food as well. By restricting, you are creating a bigger food focus. And what does food focus do? It increases your cravings. And what do cravings do? They increase your guilt. And what does guilt increase? Emotional eating. You know it. So when we look at the neurological side of things, when you tell your brain you can't have something, the dopamine around that food increases. And that's exactly why dieting often leads to people binging out, having an unhealthy relationship with food, having anxiety around eating out, being scared of social events, and just having overall fear of food and binging, and feeling like they have to track for the rest of their life and become really obsessive with it. And that is not sustainable. Eventually you will crash and burn, and you'll end up just going in this big binge restrict cycle. And another reason why so many women fail to diet is because they believe that skinny is healthy, when it really isn't. Aesthetics are the biggest thing that women go for. I want to look like this, then I'll be happy. You'll get to there and you won't be. Trust me, I've been there. I used to compete. I was like, when I'm leaner, I'll be happier. I wasn't. I just wanted to be leaner and leaner until I was nearly skin and bone, and I was very, very unhealthy, and I still wasn't happy. And then I was in such a bad place with my food that I had to start eating more, and then I hated my body because it was changing. It wasn't this lean me anymore. But we need to let go of the aesthetics and how we look, and that skinny is the best or the most confident, because you can be in the best shape of your life and still not feel confident if you don't feel confident from within, if you don't love yourself for who you are. And this is where too many women focus on the aesthetics alone. They don't look at the all-in-all hormone health. They don't look at the strength. They don't look at how good their skin or their hair is. They don't look at the resilience. Like, they literally hyper-focus on this one thing, which doesn't actually bring them any happiness, and it's not a great measure of progress. We need to look at your hormones. We need to look at your sleep. Is it improving? Is your muscle mass increasing? Are we losing body fat? Is your body composition changing? Is your mental health improving? Are your blood markers improving? Is your thyroid better? Are you getting a regular cycle? Those are wins that women need to start focusing on. They are far more important than the aesthetics. And here's something that you might not want to hear, but sometimes the leanest version of you is not the healthiest you. I was the leanest version of me 4 years ago when I stood on stage, and that was the unhealthiest my body ever was. And that's really important to remember. Now, here is why dieting is confusing and why it can work at first and then it stops working. So first of all, When you start a diet, your glycogens are going to drop, your water drops, your inflammation drops, the scales start to respond quickly, but fat loss isn't necessarily moving, but you're getting excited because the scales are coming down. But what I want you to remember that sustainability is far more important. So if you are eating 700, 800, 1,000 calories, if you are avoiding social occasions, if you feel like you are literally dragging yourself out of bed and you are unable to do anything day to day, constantly tired, you've got mood swings, that is not sustainable long term. You will crash and burn, and eventually you'll end up in the binge cycle and gaining double the weight more than likely. That isn't a lifestyle, it's a stressor. And that sort of lifestyle and stress will only equal you to rebound twice as hard. So you're probably asking, well, Dom, what actually needs to change? And I'm about to tell you, don't you worry. And it's not eat whatever you want. It's not if it fits your macros. It's not don't ever diet again. It's about finding what works for you. It's about periodized fat loss, not being in a fat loss phase for the rest of your life. It's also not about yo-yo dieting. Once you get to a place where you are happy, you want to ensure that you maintain that and keep up that healthy lifestyle. You don't just go on a diet and then go back to your old ways. It becomes a new lifestyle for yourself. Keeping stress levels at bay, making sure your thyroid is healthy, building muscle mass before dieting aggressively, eating enough proteins, fats, and carbs strategically, depending on your goals, repairing your relationship with food and understanding your menstrual cycle. As a female, we should all understand what it is, how it works, and whereabouts in our cycle we are. So here's something that I want you women to understand. If you are depleted and if you are exhausted and your body's in the gutter, you will not be able to diet. You will not be able to start dropping body fat when your body's in such an exhausted and fragile state. You need to get it to a place where it feels safe, where your metabolism is firing, where you have the energy to do this. Because if you start from the gutter, you are only going to end up even deeper. So if dieting has failed you, you're not broken, you're not lazy, you haven't got low willpower, there's probably more underlying issues that are a lot deeper that need to be fixed first. It's not as easy as move more and eat less, like it is with most guys, or healthy females even. A lot more comes into play with it, okay? So if you need help around any of this, you know where to find me. All the links are below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on social media, visit my website if you want to book in a call, and I'm more than happy to help you because I've been there myself and I get it. And my ladies that work with me at the moment, they can vouch for myself as well. But I hope you all have a nice day. See you all later.